WUSA 9 Weather Watch Alert is sponsored by Morgan & Morgan.
Well, good Sunday evening to you. I'm WUSA 9 meteorologist Makayla Lucero. Well, it has been a gloomy day across the DMV, and those showers have finally started to reach our region. This is a current look at what we're tracking. Looking at satellite and radar, you can see cloudy skies and lots of rain, not only for our region, but also for many spots towards our south and towards our north. A little bit more of a zoomed in look at what we're seeing right now. Pockets of heavy rainfall for just a few spots, mainly along that I-81 corridor, and then in the DC region as of now, just dealing with some of those nuisance showers, occasionally picking up just a bit, but most of us are just under this green color you see here. That's just showing us lighter rain. When we start to see these yellow colors and the oranges, that's where we can infer that we're getting a bit of that heavier rainfall. So let's kind of look around our region, talk a little bit more about what we're seeing and where exactly we're seeing it. We're going to zoom into some of that heavier rainfall out for our far western counties. As of now, the heaviest rainfall is still towards the west of the DC region. So if we can zoom in just a little bit on this side, what you'll notice is that this heavier rainfall as of now is anywhere from about ½ an inch to 3/4 of an inch per hour. So I'm talking for places like Big Spring into Luray, Cavetown. That's where we're getting some of that heavier rainfall as of now, as well as Sperryville. You're seeing that heavier rain. Now, this is not going to last a whole lot longer. This is moving off towards the north, but we're going to continue to watch it. As far as the DC region goes right now, still seeing that, steady rainfall. We did get a pocket of moderate rain just about 20 minutes ago, and now we're just back to those nuisance showers for our area. If you are under any circumstances going outside for tonight, I'm talking to be on the roadways, you need to be aware it is going to be quite dangerous out on the roads because of this wet weather. Right now, the heavy rainfall mixed with the dark conditions outside, this is not the time to be out on the roads. We're also watching for that potential for some flooding across the region because of this steady rainfall and potentially some of that heavy rainfall for a few spots. So let's get another zoomed in look at a few other areas right now. The Leesburg region starting to get some of that heavier rainfall. We're watching, moderate rain for some, but you see that orange color there? That's where we're getting a bit more of that heavy rain. We'll get a closer look exactly at the Leesburg region, maybe get you some street views there. You can see, anyone along any of those roads, you see Highway 15, we've got 267. If you travel along any of those roads and you're planning to later on tonight, be aware that it is going to be quite soggy outside and those roads will be on the dangerous side. So make sure that you are slowing down, using those windshield wipers. Make sure your lights are turned on. Now, these rains are going to continue into tomorrow morning, so keep in mind if your windshield wipers are on, your headlights also need to be on. Doesn't matter if the sun is out or it's bright enough that you can see around. If your windshield wipers are on, your headlights do need to be on. So when we get another look at some of our southern counties here, you can see still seeing showers no matter where you're headed, down to Ladysmith along I-95 south towards Richmond, still seeing heavy rainfall across the entire region. So it is quite soggy out there. This rainfall is no joke. Now, it's not only rainy here, but we've also been seeing quite a bit of rainfall for the entire East Coast. Check out this video. This is from Charleston, South Carolina. They saw some very heavy rain, the same rain that we're seeing in our region today. You can see those cars doing exactly what they're not supposed to be doing, driving through it. We always tell you, turn around, don't drown. Now, if you're familiar with the Charleston area, you know that it does frequently flood, but this is still quite impressive for this region, just how far inland a lot of this rain was able to go and a lot of this floodwater was able to go. So this is a good reminder that, hey, turn around, don't drown. This is also showing us that, hey, we're going to get a lot of rainfall in our area, enough that we could see some of that localized flooding across the region, especially for areas that tend to pool up with water. My goodness, you see those roadways there, those cars flooded. Oof. Well, hopefully we will not get as much rain as the Charleston region. Thankfully, we are not situated in the same areas as they are, but we're going to continue to watch for all of those showers in our region. As far as our threats go at this point in time, right now we're watching mainly for the threat for flooding, as well as some very heavy, strong winds for our region. Heavy rain, that's the main threat for tonight, and then damaging winds, that's the next threat heading into your Monday. Now, those winds will stay on the calmer side for most of your Sunday night, but then Monday you're really going to notice them picking up. So don't be surprised if you're getting the rain tonight and not necessarily the wind. The wind is coming. Now, we do have this flood watch out for the entire region until Monday morning. Now, you see here, any county you see in green has a good chance for seeing some of that localized flooding. So you know the areas in your neighborhood, on your commute to work that tend to pool up with water. You're gonna want to try to avoid those regions for your Sunday night plans as well as your Monday morning commute. The steady rainfall could cause some of that localized flooding across the region. And if you've got some drains that are clogged with leaves, or if there are drains along the streets that are clogged with leaves, that could increase that risk for flooding. We also do have a winter warning out there, winter weather warning out for our far western counties. Now, this isn't fully into our region yet, it's mainly just for Garrett County, where they have that winter storm warning. Now, that's in effect for your Monday night as well as Tuesday morning because of the chance for some flurries out towards that region. We're going to continue to monitor that, but what I want you to mainly notice about this map is who's not included in it, which is all of us. Right now, it looks like we are going to stay as rain. We're not going to see an influx of cold temperatures. If you remember last week, we had some cold air rush in and we were watching the rain flip to snow. We don't have that cold air for this system for your Sunday night into Monday morning. So there's some good news there. Back to our flooding. Well, we're also watching for some coastal flooding. So what this means, those areas you see there in that green color, this means with those onshore winds partnered with the heavy rainfall, we could be seeing some significant flooding along our rivers and inlets. So if you live along a river or an inlet, be aware that you could see some of that localized flooding because of not only the rainfall, but also those strong and gusty winds. All right, let's get to Futurecast. Let me show you what to expect for the rest of the night tonight. This is right around 11:30. So if you're checking in with us on WSA 9, you're going to be seeing heavy rain across the region. This rain will be heavy enough that, hey, if you are not a real heavy sleeper, this could keep you up at night. That's how heavy the rain's going to be. Winds will also start to get a little bit gusty as we head into the overnight hours of your Sunday. As we continue into your early morning hours of your Monday, 2:30 to 3, most of the heavy rainfall has moved out of our region. We're still seeing some heavy rain out there towards the eastern shore, but the strongest and heaviest of rainfall has moved out. We'll continue to see those showers linger into those pre-dawn hours of your Monday. By about 6 a.m., the clouds start to break up as well as those showers, but we're not completely clear when we hit that commute time window of about 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. So if you're out on the roadways as early as 6, you are still going to be dealing with the wet roads with rain falling. However, by about 7 to 8 o'clock, a lot of that rain starts to push out of the region. But just because the skies are dry does not mean that the ground is going to be dry. We're still going to be dealing with those shiny roadways because of the rain that fell, and you're going to be dealing with some of that spray from the cars in front of you. So it's still going to be a soggy commute to work, even if the rainfall has stopped for your region. The good news is, as we get towards your Monday afternoon, all of us are dry, all of us are clear. However, it is going to be very windy outside. You see those little blue lines? Those are our wind barbs, and the more wind barbs we have, the stronger the wind is, and we have got quite a few on our map heading into your Monday. We'll stay on the dry side Monday afternoon and into the evening. We will watch for a few flurries for our far western areas, mainly talking about West Virginia and western portions of Maryland, areas that are used to seeing snow this time of year towards the Alleghenies. Don't think a lot of that's going to head closer to the DC region, but some models do show a stray flurry on Tuesday morning. But hey, we'll talk a little bit more about that later. First, we got to get through this round of wet weather. Let's talk rainfall totals. As of now, models are showing a good amount of rainfall across the entire area. The eastern shore seeing the most of the rain, 3.5 inches for a few spots. Closer to the DC area, that's where we're about 2.5 inches. And then as you head further off towards the west, that's where those rainfall totals do start to get a little bit more on the manageable side, 1 inch to 1.25 inches for our areas along I-95, the Blue Ridge, and towards the west. Now, here's what I got to tell you about these. We want to know how much rain you're getting in your area. So if you are a WSA 9 weather watcher, we want to see pictures of your rain gauge. So let that rain fall tonight and tomorrow morning, and when you wake up, send us a picture as soon as that rain's done in your area. Send us a picture of your rain gauge so we can see how much rain we've seen across the region. Now, if you're not a WSA 9 weather watcher, it's no problem. You can sign up to be one. Just head over to our WSA 9 Weather Watchers Facebook page. It's a private group, but request to join, and I personally will make sure that you get in that group tonight so we can see your rainfall totals heading into Monday morning. But it is going to be a very soggy Sunday night as well as Monday morning. But here's the good news, a little bit of good news. we are not in a very big risk for severe weather. This is a look from the Storm Prediction Center. They have us in a thunderstorm risk, so that's even below a level 1. It means a gusty wind, a rumble of thunder can't be completely ruled out of the forecast for tonight and early tomorrow morning, but our risk for severe weather is very, very low as of now. So we've got some good news there. All right, let me get you over to one more look at satellite and radar. As of now, we are still seeing heavy rain across the entire DMV, and we are going to continue with this pattern tonight. Now, our Casey Nolan is out on the streets looking for some flooded roadways. I believe he's headed to Northeast DC. Casey, tell us where you're at and what you're seeing.
Hey, Makayla. We are on Rhode Island Avenue, and yes, we are in Northeast. We just crossed over just a little bit ago from Northwest, and we are headed downhill, kind of going down to the low ground. I'll show you a look from the top of Eco 9, which we are in right now. We've been driving around, checking out some of the usual spots. So far, so good. And, you know, folks will remember this is the site we're coming up on here where maybe some of the most devastating flooding we have had in recent memory. The former location of a District Dogs location that is now closed, where just a terrible situation where some dogs perished in flooding at the store there. This is an area that has historically flooded really badly, but we also know that the district has just completed in the last couple of months ago now, I believe it was in September, the Northeast Boundary Tunnel that helps with that combined stormwater and sewage overflow. It alleviates problems like we saw this past summer in this area here on Rhode Island. And as you can see, despite the fact that the rain has been coming down pretty steadily, really we're just seeing some typical ponding in this area and really all over town that we've been. The roads are wet. You can tell it's kind of nasty out. The good news, as you've been saying, Makayla, it's still pretty warm. By our gauges here, it's still in the low 50s. So that certainly could be a lot worse, as you see just kind of how miserable things are. I'll tilt up just a little bit, give you a look down the road as well here from Eco 9. But again, this is an area where we've seen, you know, a lot of flooding in the past. Now we're just getting started, as you've been saying. The rain is doing exactly what you said it would so far, and we've got more to come. But as you can see, the roads are wet for sure. And right now, as we pass through this area, not too bad with the ponding, but we have seen it in spots. You know, kind of bad. Now, of course, good news, this is a Sunday evening, so not exactly a high traffic time. If there is such thing as a low traffic time, I'm not sure anymore, but
yeah.
Nevertheless, not as many cars as could be on the road. Now, something we were just talking with Haley, our producer in the booth, as she was checking out our shot here. She's like, gosh, that, you know, it almost looks like snow. And I think that is, you know, speaks a little bit to just how much the wind is starting to whip around a little bit out here, Makayla. So I don't know if that's something we need to look out for more. So I've heard a little bit of what you've been saying about the forecast over the next several hours. But right now, good news, no massive flooding that we've found so far that anyone is having to deal with, at least not in the spots we've seen. But as you can see, plenty of rain coming down, plenty of water on the road, and whipping around just a little bit.
Absolutely.
Makayla?
Thank you, Casey. Yeah, we're going to check back in with you in just a little bit. But you were mentioning the wind, how it's just now starting to pick up a little bit. Well, just about an hour ago, we got this information from the National Weather Service that we do now have a wind advisory out for every single county you see there in yellow. This means we are seeing very strong winds heading into your Monday. It's in effect from Monday morning, 8 a.m. until Monday afternoon, 2 p.m. Right now, they are expecting winds up to 50 miles per hour. So those are very strong winds across the entire region, damaging winds potentially. So what do you need to do now to prepare? Well, we're going to talk about that in just one second. But first, let me show you what the forecast is going to be. Forecasted wind gusts by lunchtime on Monday, 32 miles per hour as far as the gusts go, and even stronger out there towards the eastern shore. You can see where that low pressure is wrapping around, bringing us those gusty winds. They stay breezy even after that wind advisory has expired. We are still going to see those very strong winds, 25 to 30 miles per hour, continuing even into the second part of your day on Monday. So very gusty across the entire region. Make sure that you are prepared for these strong winds. And here's what you can do to get yourself ready. Number one, secure those outdoor objects. It's rainy right now, but if you have anything outside, I'm talking your holiday decorations, maybe you have a flag outside, move those inside or secure them if you can. Think about your patio furniture as well. If you've got pillows on your patio furniture or maybe some light chairs that are sitting outside, tack them down or bring them in if you can, because of these strong winds. Another object I want to talk about are your packages. I know a lot of us are probably getting holiday packages right now. If your packages are dropped off outside on Monday morning, I would make sure you bring them in as quickly as you can. Not only will they be soggy, but if it's a light package, it could be blown down the street. 50-mile-per-hour winds are no joke. They could be blowing those packages down the street, past your neighbor, past your other neighbor, and somebody else is going to get that holiday present. So keep that in mind for anything that you've got outside tonight and into tomorrow. Secure those objects. Think about cutting down any sort of weak tree limbs. We're not going to have much of that dry time now. So if that window has passed for you, what you can do is don't park your car underneath tree limbs, especially ones that you know to be on the compromised side. We did have a very active severe weather season earlier in the year, and there are a number of tree limbs that still aren't fully secured. So if you know those areas, make sure you're not parking your car underneath those tree limbs. And think about trash day. Monday is going to be very, very gusty. Your trash can, if Monday is trash day for you, you got to bring that trash can in as soon as you can. If you know that's not going to be an option for you and you're worried about your trash can heading down the street, well, what you can do right now to make sure that you are prepared, well, what I would do, I would make sure that you have your house numbers painted on your trash can. You can spray paint them on there, write them on there so somebody knows where to return that trash can in case it is down the street. So let me get you one more look back at the radar before we let you guys go. This is what we're seeing as of now. Still seeing very heavy rainfall across the entire DMV. Pockets of that rain is on the strong side, which could be causing some of that localized flooding. So we are going to continue to monitor all of these showers. We're going to get you a picture a little bit closer to home. You can see where we're seeing the oranges and the yellows. That's where the heaviest rainfall is. Right now we're just in the green zone for the DC region, but we're going to continue to monitor all of this rainfall over the next couple of hours, but all of us will be soggy for the rest of the night tonight and into your day tomorrow. Make sure that you're planning for your Monday commute to take a little bit of extra time just because it is going to be on the soggy side. And we're going to continue to track this. So make sure that you download your WUSA 9 app. You've got the QR code on your screen right now. You can get the latest weather updates there, including all the watches and warnings sent straight to your phone. The way you do that, make sure that you allow location and notification services when you download the app so we can send you an alert for the exact area that you live. Now, we're also going to have lots of updates tonight on the news at 11, so we hope to see you then. And again, if you'd like to be a WUSA 9 weather watcher and share your soggy photos with us, we would love to see that. Go ahead and head over to WUSA9.com for more details. We'll see you tonight at 11.
WUSA 9 Weather Watch Alert is sponsored by Morgan & Morgan.